This is Don Goldberg for TechView, and my guest today is Dan Israel with Google's office in Washington, who handles the federal program. Dan, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Don.
But what I want to talk about is the Government 2.0 Expo that's coming up in a couple weeks. And tell us a little about the Expo, because Google's one of its main sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a relatively new event in the government technology marketplace.
Right.
And there are a lot of events in the government technology marketplace. O'Reilly did the Gov 2.0 Summit for the first time last September. And it was a really exciting conference. It was very dynamic. Lots of speakers up for just a short amount of time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Even high-profile people, the CIO of the Army had just 10 minutes.
It's like speed dating.
Exactly.
Right.
It forces people to kind of concentrate the mind and just get across their most important points. And so I'm excited about the conference, excited about Google's participation.
And one of your colleagues is going to be there doing a keynote.
That's right. Dave Girard, who's the head of Google Enterprise, is going to be there with Randy Levin, the CTO of Los Angeles, talking about LA's decision to move all 34,000 city employees to Google Apps.
Now tell us about Google Apps in the cloud. I mean, the cloud's a buzzword here in town, but Google is actually walking the walk, not just talking the talk. You've been working with major government agencies and cities to implement this.
Sure. So Google Apps is email and calendar, instant messaging, document sharing, a whole range of workplace productivity and communication applications, and they're all provided via Google data centers, so customers don't have to run servers on site. Los Angeles is actually going to be able to take 100 servers out of commission from their own data center by virtue of relying on Google's infrastructure. Plus they get the benefit of disaster recovery capabilities. So in LA, their CTO likes to say it's not a question of if there's going to be an earthquake, but when. And if something drastic happened in the city, they might have their email system go down at a time when that communication is totally essential. So relying on Google's infrastructure, which is conveniently placed in locations where
away from earthquakes.
Earthquakes are not likely to happen. Plus, it's
maybe
replicated
volcanoes,
in multiple data centers, so just in case one did, the data is backed up. That way, they get all those benefits without having to make the investment of building their own data centers.
So government agencies like the city of Los Angeles, with some 30,000 people on that, they have to, and people like Randy Levin, who are the, have to evaluate how to use the cloud, they've got to look at security, they've got to look at integrity, redundancy, privacy. How do you sort of convince these agencies that the companies who use the cloud have that covered?
Sure. Security is a very serious issue, and our government customers, like all of our customers who are evaluating Google Apps, have to think about how is this security going to compare to the security that I'm providing in my own organization with my own people. And generally it involves bringing them in, talking to them, having them meet with our security team and understand all of the different procedures that Google has in place, the people that we have. We have a really top-notch security team, and the investment that we've made in providing really first-rate security in our cloud applications. And when they understand the work that we've done and the capabilities that we can provide from a security front, generally customers come away thinking, you know what, this is as good as, if not better than, what I can provide myself at much cheaper cost.
Right. So there's a hurdle for them to emotionally get over, but it's not a real hurdle. What about issues like privacy? The data's not kept within the city servers. Now all of a sudden somebody else has access.
So first of all, there are privacy concerns that people have, but again, as they understand what we're doing, when they put their data into the Google applications, it's still their data.
Right.
We don't own it. We're never going to go in and look at it for any kind of purposes. We provide technical support when they need it, when they request it from us, but that's all. So we're talking to them, we're making sure they understand our processes, how we're going to use their data, how we're not going to use their data, which is to do anything inappropriate, and making them comfortable with moving some of their technologies into the cloud and getting the benefits, like reducing their costs substantially. LA is saving $5 million over 5 years, letting their IT people focus on much more critical things than keeping email up and running.
So Los Angeles as a case study is going to be talked about at Gov 2.0. Anything else there we ought to be looking for?
I think there will be a lot of people who are leaders in technology in the government talking about new approaches, new applications that are being developed. Google's going to be there. We're going to have a booth. We're going to have a lot of our folks who work on a whole range of projects within the company there, and we look forward to talking to people who are attending the expo. I think it's going to be a great event.
Good. Well, we look forward to seeing you there. Dan Israel, thanks for being here.
We'll see you on the floor. Thanks, Don.
Great. I'm Don Goldberg for TechView.